Happy International Women's Day, Basadi Bomme Taria Sechaba. This year's theme is Choose to Challenge, and in the spirit of celebrating women who are trendsetters, incredible leaders, amazing mentors, and they continue to challenge the status quo, they continue to choose to challenge, we decided to have a chat over tea with our very own Madam Speaker Sir, Dr. Margaret Nananyana Nasha. And yes, she gave us permission to use her middle name. Ma'am Nasha, thank you very much for allowing us to come and have this conversation with you to celebrate amazing women like yourselves. Do you consider yourself to be an amazing woman?
I don't.
Why not?
I'm just another woman, another citizen of this Republic of Botswana, but I don't consider myself amazing.
You don't consider? Well, let me
No,
tell you, a
I'm
lot of
normal.
people think you are amazing and phenomenal, and they will give anything to just shake your hand. You know, not in COVID, obviously. Let me take you a little bit back to, so many years ago when you were young, and people were asked, when you grow up, what did you used to say?
Let me tell you the truth. When I grew up, I wanted to stop at junior certificates. I wanted to go and do nursing. That was I don't know why. I used to go to the hospital in Kanye and see all those nurses looking nice, and I just wanted to be one of them. And unfortunately, it didn't work. I did apply to a nursing school, but my mother found out and said, "You are not going for nursing. You are going further with your education." She put her foot down. She didn't go to school, but she valued education a lot. So I ended up going for my Cambridge and then university and so the rest is history.
Wow, powerful. And I really like how you're showing that you also come from a strong line of women who always pushed you and encouraged you and wanted you to really be more. Sometimes that's all it takes, somebody who believes that you can actually be more than who you are. And when did you realize that you want to get into politics?
It happened when I was at the Department of Information and Broadcasting. When I was in broadcasting, I had, as you can imagine, when you are in journalism, whether written or electronic, you come into contact with a lot of politicians. You discuss, you talk, you discover that they are people just like you, like everybody else. And then as time went on, I used to go to Parliament every day to cover parliamentary proceedings. And that made it even worse, that I could see these men and ladies doing their job. And when you go along with people like this, you ask yourself, I can do it too. They inspired me. The other thing, of course, was that Parliament those days, there were not many ladies in Parliament. There were only, I don't know, I can only remember Dr. Chepe, I can remember Mem Madisele, one of the forerunners of women in Parliament, and then Mem Olsen. There were not many. And then Helen and I spent many years thinking that we should, as women, move forward into a lot of fields. And when I grew up in broadcasting and became director at some point, I used to even tell the women there that, you must try. Do this, do that. Don't think that this job is meant for men, the other one is meant for women, blah, blah. So I grew up with that thing in my mind that women should be visible in every sphere of life. So I got interested, and then I started talking to some politicians about the possibility of me being active. One of them was Rekidi Kilo. Rekidi Kilo, when I first approached him, I remember him saying to me, Nana, are you ready? I said, I think I am. And he said, Kana politiki ke mathata. Why don't you wait a little bit and just, you are doing okay where you are. He used to be my boss when he was director of personnel those days. So I listened to him. But there came a time when I couldn't wait no more. I just went in.
You just decided to go ahead. You're like, get that one, I go one
Get
thing.
that one, I go pay.
Wow, amazing. And let me, on a lighter note, just ask you about your nickname. It's probably Woo. But what is people's reaction each time they hear your middle name?
No, everybody wants to use it.
I know.
Everybody
Like
wants to call me.
I want to use it.
That's my name. Give it one, Nananya. Ilina la me la le kitse twinkalo ne la ko kanye. Ile reilwe ke mme. The only thing is that these days I don't allow people like you to call me that. Only people batona. But that's my name. Yes.
Okay, so I can't even say grandma Nananya.
Yeah, go siame ke tla go letela go tlola molao today.
Thank you very much. Now, I want you to also reflect on your journey. You decided to go into politics. And you said that you didn't wait for the right time. You decided that, you know what, I'm ready. I want to do this. I want to challenge the status quo. What would you say is the biggest challenge that you face?
Mo politiki.
Before you were even a politician and well known.
Let me tell you, one of the things, I was very lucky because by the time I joined politics, I mean, I don't want to lie to people who are up and coming, young family people and so on and so forth. I was very lucky. I just consider it luck that when I joined, all my children were grown up to beyond the age of babysitting, and they were at the age where they could do things for themselves, cook for themselves. But I know, and I have seen other women affected by this. Or you are a mother, you are a wife, you are a politician, and in politics, 7 to 8, 7 to 5. You can work until midnight or beyond. You travel too much, you go to faraway places to campaign for your candidates and your party. It's a very demanding job. So when you still have a family to look after, it becomes problematic.
So you're just talking about how you decided to go for politics. You didn't wait to be ready or the perfect conditions. You thought you want to do this right now and you're going to go for it. What would you say were the biggest challenges that you faced right there when you were starting Gogontlejang, and nobody knew you at that time and you were wanting a big political position? What were the challenges that you faced?
No, I wouldn't say nobody knew me. Because as I had explained earlier on, I worked with these people, so they knew me, and I think they had some idea of my capabilities, but not in the area. But you know what? When you get into a new field, people will examine everything about you, including your dress code, the way you wear your makeup, you don't wear your makeup, how you walk, the way you talk, everything. Things that don't matter when it comes to your male colleagues. Yeah, no. Even in the area where I was, I knew this to be the case. So I sort of prepared myself for it. People will have some misgivings about whether you'll do this or to be able to do this. I discovered later that part of the reason I was taken to Ghana, I worked many years in local government. I had no idea what this local government was all about in full. But I made sure I read and I talked and I listened to my officials and things like that, and work 100%, 100 and something percent, and that I deliver. So you find people asking you questions in Parliament, which were not really questions aimed at getting information, but questions to test your intelligence, test your knowledge of the ministry, to test your ability to deliver.
Yes.
And it's not that I was not aware of that. I was. There was a time when there was a big debate in Parliament about dress code. Banna bare ke rona go tira apara di-tie mme basadi bone motho o kgona go tla ga ka tjalehela ka re o tswa go nyadisa go teiwa rona go tire re lebega o ka re tswa go tseisa re apere jang. You know what? Go te go change the standing orders so that the standing orders should prescribe code, dress code for women. Hela jaka I prescribe a dress code for men. And Ghana standing order necessary. Jacket and tie. What? Very tight, di ba hupetsa moa and all that. Right, and I came out very, very strong. Ke ba bolela gore kana this dress code di dirilwe ka nako ya lo ithalologang ko go nna le bomme mo parlamenteng. Ke sone se no lo itirela dress code ya lona. So suffer comfortably there. That dress code. Rona ga re tlhoke dress code. And we refused gore go nne le dress code ya bomme mo parlamenteng. It was hare tlhoke.
That's very interesting.
These are the ke gona le example hela tse leng gore wa bona gore mo gongwe ke go tobetsa go a tobediwa jana. So you must stand up and
you must stand up and just challenge it.
Be heard.
You know, it's very interesting that you're saying that. You know, ne ke bua le mongwe recently ke motsa re kante keng re a tie is formal way, but maybe motho ha ta apere an African shirt is not formal way. But I don't think in our traditional attire we had ties, but you could still be formal as a man.
Yeah, bane ba rialo ba re we could wear safari suits. Me re bua gore lo ka di apara di safari suits me kana go itlhala re le ene anong mogodu ile kwa ha para safari ya kalela ya nong a lo sho gore lo tla di sega ka tsela e le gore di tlabe di lo lekana. It's okay.
And maybe still speaking on challenges, you're talking about the challenges you face in your political career. In your life, what do you think is the biggest challenge you've ever faced? It may be when you were young or older, but that one challenge that you think, hey, like if I didn't overcome that, I would not be who I am today.
No. Challenge anything. You know, when I grew up, our father had already passed on. We were brought up by my mother, single-handedly, as a Square, as I said, me I say bomolemo. You are o karekisa khomo kana dipudi le pedi wa duela school fees. I cannot nanere re duela school fees from sub A right up to even Cambridge. Re simolotse go itse gore motho ka duelwa sekole re le go UB me le gona go tira kolotisiwa when you finish you must pay. Jaanong I could see gore it was not easy for my mother to handle all those things, but she did. Kholomo, it gave me that something, I don't even know how to describe it, to see that it helps you when you grow up to have a vision, to have a dream. And I think to grow up in tough times, Leone ya thusa to toughen you up.
True.
She could do it. She didn't go to school. I can do it. I can maybe even do even better. So there is a silver lining in all those things.
That's true. That's true. Let me ask this question. Do you still drive yourself, Dr. Nasha?
I do. Yes, I still do. I drove myself this morning.
Wow.
Taking my niece to the bus rank.
Okay. So what happens when the police stop you? I mean, obviously they stop the car not knowing who's there, and then they realize, okay, Dr. Nasha.
You know what? If you have done wrong, I hope you are talking about regular checking. And the lights working, these days, I behave. I behave. Kantele, haven't some mask. Kwena, marona. Now they recognize you. But not that you can get away with murder. I don't want to, because I obey the rules.
And then, in Africa, we have a challenge of encouraging integrity. Kana mo itileng re mongwe ga gore bagolo ba ganela mo ditirong, kana there is a system of recycling, whereas bagolo ba tshwanetse re yaanong ba mentore and take the back seat professionally, and allow upcoming professionals to take positions. And I think you're one of those former leaders who decided.
Let me tell you something. I don't agree with that 100%.
Okay.
Look at all the parliaments. Recently, let me just talk about the one that you still remember, where the speaker is 80 years old.
And the president.
And she's still going strong, and she's up there. The current president is older than me by 5 years, I think.
Even more.
Trump was even 7 years older. But he still, and if he wants to come back in 2024, he will.
He will. Some people saying he will come back.
I think where we go wrong is wanting to clean up the slate. Basha ke baratela gore ha ba sa batle selo kana se ba khopisa ba want to come out and say it. But tsamona mogolo yo tshwanang le the majority leader right now, Chuck Schumer, how old he is, and when he says something, he means it. Ka gompieno re bana batho ba pitikolo ga o ka re di gopane ka ko Republican motho ka moso ga a bue sentle sepe se se monate ka ga Trump ka moso ga a gakologela gore kana ke tshwantse ke go emela ditlhopho a re o simola yaanong Trump ena moenkgedi. That is so wrong. How sa dumalane le sologela stick by it. So ha gongwe there is an element of I don't know what to call it. How le motona, or you are able to say it like it is. If you are an honest person.
Megana, you're one of the politicians who has actually taken a step back once you left. You literally left a position that you were holding. We didn't see you leading another big institution or going elsewhere and all of that. I think now you're probably even taking more active roles, maybe kerekeng and in social groups. So I was wondering though, if right now you were offered to come back into active leadership, would you take that?
I can go back and be a Speaker of Parliament. if that opportunity were to arise. But I cannot go back and be a cabinet minister again. It's okay. How no direct election of president in Botswana? I would go for it.
Wow.
Especially how le mosadi gore basadi ba itse gore o ka tsamaya ha di go jele di go jele. Try again. How many times did people try? Lose 3 times la bone aba winner. So never give up on the first go.
That's true. As we wrap up, I wanted to also say something, just to engage you a little bit further. Kanaki International Women's Day. One of the biggest notions that are out there in our society, and especially in Botswana, is this narrative that women don't support each other and women are their own worst enemies. Do you think that's true?
Bona. Maloba Mutukile, if you tell a lie, and you repeat it 200 times, 5 times a day, it becomes fact. I don't like saying those things. Women don't support each other. And then you find men say, you are your own enemies, blah, blah. As soon as you suggest something which challenges their authority and they begin to realize what taka. You see what I mean? So, Tota Hela. I think we have been talking too much about women being their own enemies to the extent that the young people now believe, and they will soon practice it. We should be saying positive things to encourage up-and-coming young people to do these things because they are capable.
I want you to speak to young women who now have to take over the baton and assume those leadership positions. What would you say to them?
I think they should gather enough courage, really. I think that is the main thing. Politics ya rona, because our system is multi-party, first past the post type of thing, is very highly competitive, and it's not clean. It is not clean. And one thing that I know women are very scared of is this dirty element of politics, where your personality, your family situation, your marital affair will take prominence over your abilities, your intelligence, and everything. And they are scared of that. And they do say it. Ba re botsa hela gore tota lona le kgona jang ga re kgone re ne ra ipolela hela gore when skeletons tumble down the wardrobe, you are not the first person to have skeletons tumbling down. Just go forward, keep moving. You guys have the potential. You are intelligent. You just need that push for you to go forward.
Absolutely. Powerful and really profound. Thank you very, very much, Dr. Nasha, for having this chat with us for International Women's Day and for sharing a lot about your personal life, a lot of wisdom as always. And I will want to repeat this. You are amazing. You are phenomenal. You are inspiring a lot of women.
Don't make me shy.
Blush. But you're inspiring a lot of women out there, and I love that you still have the energy. And I believe that so many Dr. Nashas that you can still groom and even better.
Just get together, invite us. We are still there. Women Masarata are still there. Women Mbaka, we are still there. Rekata hela ralo nela ralo tsolela.
Thank you very much.